Hi, today I'm here at the top of a place called Mittelberg Hill in Germany. Now this is the top of a very modern tower in the middle of this very ancient site. And this site was the place of discovery of a very interesting artifact called the Nebra Sky Disk. There are some very interesting connections which have been shown by a man called Howard Crowhurst. I'll put a link to his video in this video because I think it's very interesting what he has to say, and particularly what he has to say with regards to what he sees with regards to the planetary aspects here and with regards to its connection to Mayan calendars, which of course was what first tweaked my interest about it. The disc here that was found comes from about 1800 BC, so it's a very, very, very old artifact showing archaeoastronomy at that time. Anyhow, it's kind of cold up here, and I think we're kind of close to closing time, so I better press on with the Trecena video. And today I'm here to talk about the Trecena of Anil. And so Anil, the one that ripens, the yellowing one, the one that brings things to their final culmination, to their brightest point, to their abundance and to their yellowness. And we're going to start that with the day 1 Anil. Of course, a great day for beginning a new project, for getting it into a ripening process. I think it's very interesting when we count the days between Cat, when we might have planted a seed, and 1 Anil, when we may be kind of like beginning to ripen. Should be a similar sort of time to about the length of time that it will take corn to ripen, for example. But what else are you ripening? What seeds did you plant that time ago to end up where we are now? How does that work? So, particularly for 1 Anil, it's say, right, okay, time to apply your influence and put into the right conditions, because with the 1 can represent like a seed that needs the right conditions to grow. What do you need to give the right conditions to in order to bring it to ripeness? What part of you do you want to bring to ripeness? 1 Anil might be saying kind of like water the seeds that you want to grow, as it were, that you want to bring to ripeness. So time to focus on the projects that you want to finalize, to finish up, the ones that you want to make abundant. From 1 Anil, we then go to 2 Toch, so Toch, a day of giving, and as usual I'll put links to various organizations that you can give to on this video and on the links. So you can see it's time to make a sacrifice. 2 Toch, well, the 2 can represent self-sacrifice, and of course Toch being about service, which is also self-sacrifice. So right, okay, what are you going to give in order to bring out the ripeness? Because we give and we take and we give. We have to make sure that the balance is kept, and 2 Toch gives us that opportunity to bring things into a very sharp contrast, the 2 representing the polarities, to see what self-sacrifice we might need to make, what service we might have to give in order to bring what it is that we want to ripen to its full abundance. From 2 Toch, we're then going into 3 Tz'i. Now, again, that ripening process, well, it's not always easy, is it? Sometimes we're going to have to, rely on our faith in ourselves, and the 3 Tz'i, looking within ourselves for our faith, maybe for our guidance, and to find what we're loyal to within us, within our home, what we want to be faithful to. That's maybe something which we need to look to whenever we want to ripen something. From 3 Tz'i, we then go into the highly creative day of 4 Batz. Okay, so we got the 4 representing the cardinal points. Well, here I am on this structure, modern structure, which is also aligned to the cardinal points, representing the plane of the earth, the material plane. And with Batz, the creative, the creator, the great artist. And so we could see 4 Batz as a great day to get your art, get your creation into the physical realm. Bring it into practicality. Okay, great, you've got a creative idea. How are you actually going to manifest that into the physical reality? These are things that you might like to consider on that day 4 Batz, to make sure that you're able to do that, to make sure that you're able to actually create it, bring it into the physical. And a great day for looking at your inspiration and saying, right, okay, what do I need in order to create this beauty, this genius idea into the physical world? 4 Batz's day to get it down on paper, as it were. From 4 Batz, we then go into 5 a day to put the work into your path. Again, the ripening process. We can talk about it being the path of life. We can talk about it being the journey that we're on. And here with the number 5 representing the hand, having to put our work in, having to put some effort into it. It's time to make that journey. And we got to put some gas in the tank or some electric in the battery, however you want to roll with that. It's all about putting some extra effort into saying, right, okay, this is the path that I want to tread. And, maybe it's uphill. Here I am on the top of a hill. It's been quite a slog getting up here, 2.7 kilometers on a cold day in November. This is kind of like, it's been that. But it's so worth it. I mean, look at this view. Why wouldn't you? Okay, so this is the idea of putting our effort into our path. So where might you need to put a bit of extra effort into your path? Where might you need to put the work in order to walk that path of ripeness? From 5 we're then going on to 6 Now, a wonderful day for bringing stability to community. Representing home and society. Representing the leadership of community. And here with the number 6, connecting between the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth and generating out onto the physical plane of existence. And so when we see that, this can be a wonderful day for bringing stability to the community, for bringing, using your connection, using your spine to stand up tall and manifest harmony into your community where harmony may not be present right now. So we could see this as a great day also to be drawing on higher forces to bring it into the physical plane, to bring harmony and peace. From 6 we're then going into 7 Ish, the Nawal of the sacred sites. Here I am standing in the middle of one. And 7 representing the top of the structure. Here I am standing on the top of one. I've chosen a great day to be talking about 7 Ish up here, I have to say. So from this vantage point, we can see all around. We can see all of our options. We can see where the car park is, well, hopefully anyway. So we can find our way back. We can see where we might want to go, where our destination is. And from this vantage point, we can make our choices. Now, what are those choices connected to? They're connected to the sacred. They're connected to the landscape. They're connected to the earth. It's about choosing your way with Mother Earth, choosing your way to interact with her, choosing your way to interact with the sacred sites and the sacred within you. How does the sacred within you interact with the landscape? How does the sacred within you interact with Mother Earth? These are things to be making your decisions and choices about on that day of 7 Ish. From 7 Ish, we then go to 8 Tz'ikin. Now, again, on the way here, I felt that I was on the right track. As we were driving along, there were birds, there were kites on either side of the road, big raptors on either side of the road. It felt like Tz'ikin was guiding us to this point. And so, on 8 Tz'ikin, this is a day to bring about the whole vision, because we have the 1 and the 7 coming together to create the 8, representing wholeness, and Tz'ikin representing the vision. So it's a day to bring out the whole vision, to bring the young with the old, the new with the old, in order to complete the vision. Again, this is part of the ripening process. From 8 Tz'ikin, we're then going into 9 Ajmaq. So as we ripen, of course, we're going to have to let go of some things. We're going to have to let go of some old belief systems. We're going to have to let go of some old things from within us, stuff, scars that we've been hanging on to for too long, that we've been that have stood between us and our ripening. If we really want to ripen, we got to forgive, we got to let it go, and we got to ask forgiveness. And we see it with the 9. It could represent women and it could represent life. And so a day of forgiveness, asking forgiveness from women, for example. But also we can see it as the day of forgiveness of life, because sometimes we feel like maybe sometimes we feel a bit sorry for ourselves and life gave us a bad hand or whatever. And I say, right, okay, but we got to play the hand that we're dealt. And that's not always easy. And some of us have easier hands than others, that's for sure. But Nine Ajmaq is really saying, right, okay, it's time to let it go. It's time to forgive so that we can move on, so that we can fully ripen. From 9 Ajmaq, we then go into 10 Noch. So again, Noch representing the left hemisphere of the brain, information, knowledge, problem solving. And the number 10 seen to represent the community, two hands coming together. So again, problem solving within the community. How can you use your knowledge? How can you join hands with your community? How can you help each other to overcome the problems, to bring hands together in agreement, in cooperation? This is a day to come up with the solutions, a day to come up with the ideas by joining hands and minds together. From 10 Noch, we'll then be going into 11 Tijax. So a very sharp day, a very lively day. The 11 energy being very energetic, sometimes rather unpredictable. And the Tijax energy, of course, being rather sharp. Now, we're going to have to be careful when we're carrying that sharp energy on an unpredictable day. We've got to make sure we, well, as they say, measure twice, cut once. Okay, be very sure about what you're cutting on an 11 Tijax day, because sometimes the knife might slip. Sometimes if we're not paying attention, then we could end up wounding rather than healing. Now, the other part of the 11 is that intuitive process that takes us off the beaten track, where we just follow our intuition and we go off somewhere where we weren't normally expecting to go. We're making a cut in a different direction. We're using our discernment with our intuition to find a new direction to go in, which could also lead us to that ripening. From 11 Tijax, we then go into 12 Kawoq, the most experienced of midwives, arriving here to birth the following day. The 12 representing all of our life experience, here connected with Kawoq, the rain. Well, thank you, Kawoq, for holding off for us and keeping me dry for now anyway. How Kawoq, the one, nothing ripens without the rain, right? And here we see the final flourish of the rain to bring everything to its perfect swelling. 12 Kawoq. Kawoq can be seen, she can be tough love. She's going to help us to, let's say, wash away the problems, wash away the stubborn stains, as we might say, so that we can go into that day of perfect ripening. And so here we might be saying, if we're connecting it with life experience, using our life experience to wash away the, kind of like the last traces of anything within, ourselves that we can't bring to ripeness, that we don't want to take into the ripening process. Because finally, we arrive on the day 13 Ajpu, one of the ultimate days. Ajpu representing the Lord, Ajpu representing the Sun, Ajpu representing the connection to the solar kingdom, and the number 13 representing the ancestors. Well, Ajpu can also represent the ancestors. Here we are, a very, very strong day, a day to be seeing ourselves, a day when the ancestors may be very, very close to us to help us to understand how to bring out the greatest power of what we can see as to be our ultimate self, our highest possibilities, our hero self. The guidance from the ancestors to help us to get to communication with the kingdom of the sun, as it were, with the upper world. So 13 Ajpu is a day to really look for those signs, understand how we can communicate, understand how we can move to the next level, to connect with the ancestors and go there. So, thank you for watching this. I know it's a bit of a short one today, but I'm going to put the camera away now and go and enjoy this site. I look forward to seeing you in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Imosh. Thank you.